Thank you for joining us for Turn the Page with Paige, brought to you by Southwestern Illinois College. I'm your host, Paige Holsey. Think about what brings you joy. How about a cupcake? How about a pink cupcake made with love and created by a child to support their mom battling cancer? Yeah, talk about inspiring, right? Well, that was the real-life inspiration behind the children's picture book, Pink Cupcakes for a Cause. An act of love blossoming into a business and creating a beautiful story along the way. Today, we have the chance to meet the mother-daughter behind the book, Arriel and AJ Biggs. Thank you guys so much for being here. You're from Florissant, so it's great to have a local pair right here in our studio.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Okay, AJ, tell me a little bit about yourself as we get started here.
So, I'm 10 years old. I like gaming, basketball, and I'm going to the 5th grade.
And this is your first TV interview, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm so glad to have you joining us. This is a big deal.
Yes.
All right, Mom, I want to ask you to take us back to the beginning of what became a co-author journey between the two of you. And unfortunately, it started with a pretty heavy medical diagnosis.
Yes. So a few years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. During that time, my daughter was 2 years old. And what we did was trying to figure out ways to bond, because she didn't understand at the time what was happening. She just wanted to play.
Yeah.
And during that time, I needed to do something with her so that she didn't think about all the bad things, but all the good things we did during that time.
I mean, as a mom, I'm thinking about how that had to be a really heavy time. And as a 2-year-old, you can't possibly begin to explain that.
Right.
And for you to realize, like, okay, what she needs the most right now is just fun. Like, that's a beautiful thing that you were able to do.
Yes.
So AJ, when did it go from just trying to make fun memories with mom into turning it into more of a business, making cupcakes?
So, one day I had an idea of baking cupcakes, and my mom was going to this special event, so I decided that I could sell my cupcakes and popcorn at her special event, and I wanted to be like my big brother.
And so another entrepreneur in the family was born in a way. That's pretty cool. And I bet he felt proud too. So this then turned into more of a movement, right?
Yes. Yes, we realize that sometimes when we go through tough things in life, we need to show our kids that it could be positive change that happens. And we decided to start telling other kids about different things that they can do to get involved in their community about things that affected them in certain ways that they feel passionate about.
How did you feel watching your daughter grow that into something more, something so impactful?
It made me feel really good, because I didn't know what I was trying to do as a mom was just do something with her that we could have a positive memory, but it turned into a movement of other youth wanting to do positive things in the community.
Why did you want to retell that experience in the form of a children's book?
For positive memories. Sometimes when we hear the word cancer, we think the other side of it, but it is a positive side to it, a sweet side, because on the other side, we can do sweet treats and then have a sweet story at the end to share with the world.
Speaking of being on the other side, how are you doing?
I am doing absolutely well. I get to empower other women. I get to talk to women about the journey of going through breast cancer and then doing pre-treatment to make sure that we look at the early signs early on.
You are changing lives in multiple ways because of this journey. What impact do you hope that this book has?
To teach children that they don't have to wait until they're older to do something great in the world.
Yeah, I mean, this started when you were 2, and look at you now as a 10-year-old really making a big impact. So those of you at home might know that we like to wrap up every interview by asking for a children's book recommendation from another author. And I have a suspicion of what your recommendation might be. You heard them earlier mention Big Brother. So tell me about this book that you brought along to share with others.
Yes, so it's called Mikey Learns About Business, and it started when Mikey was 9 years old.
Mikey as in her brother.
Yes. He was 9 years old, wanted to start a business. I told him no, but then we realized that if he had the right mentorship around him, he really could start a business, and he started his very own vending machine business, and the journey is in the book.
Okay, well, show us the book cover here. So it's Mikey Learns About Business, and this is based on his real life journey as a child entrepreneur.
Yes.
What a great lesson. 2 fantastic examples. So a mother of a pair of authors.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing your real story and the story that you guys created here. Congratulations on your book and all the ways that you've impacted the community.
Thank you so much for having us.
I want to thank you at home for joining us today as well. We hope to see you again soon for the next episode of Turn the Page with Paige.